What's good, everybody? My name is Jay Fatty. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make your samples and melodies sound more wide in the mix. Alright, so let's get right into it. Alright, so we just have this cymatic sample here. What I'm going to do first is route it to a track. We'll just bring it to mixer track 4. Alright, let's play it a little bit just so you can hear how it sounds before we do anything. So if we listen to it, it already sounds pretty wide. But first, let's talk about stereo separation. So there's mono and there's stereo. And when you have an insert in the mixer track, it's this knob right here that lets you mess with the stereo separation. So if you bring it all the way to the right, that's going to be in mono. You can bring it a little bit to the right, not all the way, and it'll just be more in mono than it is stereo. And if you go more towards the left, that's where you're going to actually get some stereo separation and get it to sound even more wide. But keep in mind, you can stereo separate things a lot, but then when you're listening to your track in mono, that thing that you stereo separated could sound bad or sound like it's not even coming through as much in mono. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to find a good balance. All right, so if we just play this and then mess around with this a little bit, let's put it in mono and see how it sounds. I would recommend wearing headphones. You're really going to be able to tell the difference. All right, so let's put it in mono while it's playing. And let's bring it in stereo. So if you listen there and have headphones on, you really can hear that difference. When it's more towards the left, it's putting the sample into the left and right field, all right? So like that vocal that you hear in the sample, when it's all the way to the left, you're going to hear it in both the left and right ears way more than just in the mid. Just think about sound like a 3D box, all right? So you got your stuff that's right in the middle, but then you also have stuff on the sides and behind and all dimensions of the box. That's what the sound spectrum is. What an audio spectrum is a three-dimensional box, essentially. That's the best way to visualize it. All right, so try to keep that in mind. Now, other ways you can make your sample sound wider are using Vintage Chorus, which is a default FL Studio plugin. So if we pull that in, we can go over to the edit mode and we can mess with 1 and 2. All right, this is just your time delays, but then we also have a speed knob, and then we also have a mono input button right here. So if we did want it to have this Vintage Chorus effect, but only be in mono, we could put that mono input. But let's try to get this really wide. Let's actually keep this 100% stereo separated and see if we can get it even more wider with this. Let's take the effects off and listen to the original. Now with the effects. Keep that in mind. Stereo separating certain elements is a really great way to add more elements into the composition. So, for example, if you have a sample that's like this, very atmospheric, but it's hitting a lot in the mid, just stereo separate it, and then you can be able to actually put other stuff in that frequency spectrum and they would fit in the mid range even better. So yeah, it's all about learning the frequency spectrum and realizing what you're doing with the actual sound. So yeah, if this video brought you value, please leave a like, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell. Make sure you stay safe, stay striving, and always be getting it. Much love, y'all. Peace.